Hello, here we are with the state of the race in the US presidential election of 2024. Today I want to present you the current results that I have from the polls from 538 and Real Clear Politics, and I put it together in my Excel sheet. Let's start. First, here are the contestants, if you don't know them. On the left, we have Vice President Kamala Harris, and on the right, we have the former President of the United States, Donald John Trump. And there are other contestants, Robert Kennedy Jr., who recently paused his campaign. Then we have Jill Stein, or Stein, of the Green Party. Then we have Cornel West, an unaffiliated candidate. And we have Chase Oliver, the Libertarian Party candidate. Let's start with the methodology. I take the most recent polls listed on 538 and also don't mention it here about Real Clear Politics. But I only take polls that are not sponsored. Okay, there's typo, not sponsored by a political affiliated or by a sponsor. Like, for example, if we have a poll sponsored by the Democratic Party or somebody close to the Democratic Party, I don't take them because I'm afraid this could be biased and this could, not be the real clear result that we are looking for. Then I don't take results with direct comparison of the two main contestants because there are other contestants that we have already listed and they are also important. They can take some percentage points from our other main contestants. And if there's no recent poll that meets the criteria, we use the number of the old ones. And to determine popular vote, we use the voter turnout of the last presidential election. So, for example, if in, let's say, Wyoming, there was a voter turnout of 76%, we take the 76% to determine how many people could probably vote in the next election in this November, so that we can see how this could result in votes for the candidates, but also in the race for the popular vote, even if this will not make a difference. So, as a reminder, the candidate must have 270 electoral votes to win the election. And the numbers that I use now in this video are the ones that I gathered on September 1, 2024. This is today. So at the moment, Donald Trump would win the election. Kamala Harris would win or get 230 electoral votes, and Donald Trump would win 302. This is the current state, the map that we have. The blue is, of course, for the Democrats. The red is for the Republican Party, and thus for their candidates. Red, Republican, is, if you don't notice, Donald John Trump. Blue is Democratic Party, Mrs. Kamala Harris. And yeah, here you can see that Donald Trump is very strong in the South, from Texas to Florida and Georgia, North and South Carolina. But he has also some strongholds in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and in Indiana. And he is also strong in the Northwest. But we will go into detail now because numbers will tell you more, and then we can see what we have. First of all, popular vote. Here are the key numbers that Biden-Harris campaign. I mentioned both because it was first the campaign of President Joe Biden, and then when he withdrew from the race, it was the Harris campaign that they gained over 6 million voters, potential voters, since June. At the same time, Trump campaign gained 3 million voters or potential voters. Then there are still undecided voters. And this is very important because in the end, in the last day of the election or of the campaigning, they can still make a difference. So there are over 7 million undecided voters in America. And the states that we have with more than 15% undecided voters are Arkansas, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Kansas, Rhode Island, and Wyoming. It's interesting that we find states there with who are leaning more Republican, but also like Rhode Island are leaning more Democratic. I don't have the comparison number for the last election, but it was surprising, at least for me. And then we have the Walz effect. Harris gained almost 5% in the Midwest. At the same time, the Trump campaign lost 5%. The Midwest, the Bible Belt, and so on, these are mostly these are strongholds of the Republican Party, but Kamala Harris picked a wonderful running mate to get some voters in these states. Here we have the strongholds of the different parties. So as we can see, Trump is very strong in the South. And this means that if he would get the whole South, then he would get 199 electoral votes in this region. But for example, Georgia is not safe for Trump. And there he could gain or win 16 electoral votes. The Northeast is a strong Democratic stronghold. But Harris, for example, must win Pennsylvania. And this is not safe. This is being called the decisive state for her campaign. And we have the West. The West Coast is also a stronghold for the Dems. Specifically, not Arizona, pardon, California. And here we have an important swing state. This is Arizona. And there the race is tight. And even though in the map we have seen that Washington was red, it's likely that Washington state is turning blue again. Here we have a scenario that if Harris could win Arizona, Georgia, and Pennsylvania, she would win 276 over 256. In that case, it means she has the required 270 votes to win the presidential election. Then let's go just to the battleground states. Battleground states, in my definition, are the states with 3% lead or less. Because in statistics we know that 3%, well, it's not very precise. This can change drastically, and it's still a long time until election in November. So, Michigan, 15 votes in the Electoral College. Harris is leading by 3%. We won't forget Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, has been discussed as a running mate, but she didn't make it or decided not to do this. And so, yeah, that's the story behind it. But Michigan is a battleground state. Same with Nevada, 6 votes. There the race is tight. Both candidates have, okay, I don't know for sure right now. I think it was 45 or 46%. So there's no clear tendency. New Jersey, 14 votes. Trump leads by 1%. And yeah, this is a state that is more in the Democratic stronghold of the Northeast. We also have North Carolina, 16%. Trump leads by 1%. Pennsylvania, 19 votes. This is the one that Kamala Harris must look at and that she must win. There, Trump is leading by 1%. Virginia, the Old Dominion state, 13 votes. Harris is leading by 3%. And then we also have Arizona, as already mentioned, 11 votes. Trump is leading by 1%. And we have Georgia, 16 votes. Trump leads by 2%.